let's move along to the news proper, which starts and pretty much ends with Destiny 2. The full trailer will be up by the time most of you hear or see this.
How amazing was that? / how terrible was that?
But circle one.
Yeah.
But we did get a 1 minute long teaser that we can talk about. In addition, of course, the confirmation of the game itself. Now, it was not done on Bungie's terms. There were photographs of posters in, I think it was Italy or somewhere.
It was Italy.
Yeah. Some posters in Italian that looked pretty real. It's like, you never know quite what can be photoshopped on the internet, but there was enough evidence that, boy, that looked pretty real, and it was. And then we got the teaser on Monday, or pardon me, the teaser yesterday, the announcement Monday. What did you guys think of it?
I think the teaser was fantastic.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion definitely did a fantastic job with the narration and just the personality of the Cade 6 character. It's just a great way to deliver your first messaging for Destiny 2. What did you think, Sean?
I mean, I loved it. Like, I was a big fan of how prominently featured Cade 6 and Nathan Fillion were in the Taken King, which is where you really saw that character kind of be really fleshed out and see his relationships with the other Vanguards and Eris Morn, this other NPC and character in the narrative. And to have him basically like be recounting a story in that classic, like funny but kind of serious Nathan Fillion tone, it's really funny and it's awesome, and it kind of does a great job of drawing the player into the conflict in a way that we haven't really seen Destiny do before with their teaser trailers.
I mean, what the best teasers do is set a tone and a mood, and if this is the tone and mood that Destiny 2 is going to sort of abide by, that's awesome.
Yeah,
because this seemed like, especially, it seemed like it doesn't even seem like Bungie has done such a good job of learning from the mistakes of pre-release Destiny to early Destiny to what it is now, and sort of course correcting and turning this into the game that the community wants. And this is something, I don't know, I think this is so cool, and I think this is a perfect example of a game that totally launched as a 7 and 2 years later is a 9.
Totally.
Yeah.
There's a ton of little community details in there too. Like, you can see the new Monarchy faction. There's little characters in the background. You can hear Zavala in the background yelling at Cade, so you still have that banter between the characters. There's a ton of little Easter eggs for Destiny 1 fans not Easter eggs, but just little nods to the original series for fans to pick up on.
It's just one of those things that does so much with so little, right? Like, the trailer is basically Cade recounting like an attack that happened to, we don't know who at first, but it turns out one of the big reveals of the trailer, and it's not much of a spoiler, is that who he's talking to is just one of those little sweeper robots that sits in the tower, which is something that, like, if you're a Guardian, you've been playing Destiny for a long time, you see these people in the tower all the time, and they don't do anything except clean the tower. And it's really funny because, like, they're basically just like janitor bots. And the janitor bot isn't really listening to him. In fact, it probably doesn't even know he's talking to him. And then it turns out that, like, this encounter is still happening, and he's, for some reason, at a bar having a drink while this, like, invasion is happening. It's really funny.
About that, he is at a bar in what looks like the city. We never actually traveled there in
it's
the
always just
original
below the
Destiny
tower.
1. So it's going to be a lot more focused around this area, it seems, so far. And that's really exciting for Destiny fans.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Marty. As somebody who, again, I've said multiple times, I played through the campaign of the first game and then bailed out, and I haven't come back. I love the tone it set, and I love that just the fact that it was a character, and like the teaser was a character telling a story, which is exactly what I want. That's exactly what Destiny 1 didn't do a good job of giving me, in my opinion. So that just that is enough to get me really interested again. Now, from those European posters, those Italian posters, looks like it's going to be out September 5th in the U.S. Unless that's
Italian.
That's the games usually come out on Fridays in Europe and usually come out on Tuesdays here. Maybe they'll do a global release, but so 5th to the 8th in Europe, and then it's a question of whether it's the 5th or the 8th.
That was around when Destiny 1 launched.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And there will be a beta in June, which is
that was from Eurogamer, right?
I believe
the people who leaked the poster told Eurogamer that the beta will be in June.
Okay, that's what it was. Thank you. We'll give credit where credit's due there.
And it's live now.
Yeah. Oh, God. What if the trailer comes out tomorrow and they're like, the beta's
Oh
live
no, I
now.
meant that'll be the announcement on Sony stage at E3.
Oh.
I guarantee. I would.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
bet money
Yeah.
it's going to be live Monday night of E3.
So bring your console, Destin.
I will.
Well, that's where I wanted to go next. Is language little stamp on one of those posters is, hey, DLC's first on
PlayStation.
PS4 again. So
And the particular language here, which is something that Brian Malkowitz, another one of our IGN producers, pointed out to me, was it has an asterisk saying at least until fall 2018, which means they potentially could pull a DLC move out of the Rise of Iron book and make that DLC exclusive for 2 years, which is what it was for Rise of Iron. Like
You
Xbox,
have yet to get some stuff on the Xbox side.
and I won't until literally the sequel to the game is out.
Yeah.
which is, as an
Little
Xbox
crazy.
player,
So
that's
we
insane.
We wondered when we were talking Scorpio recently, like, oh, could Microsoft swoop in, try and grab the marketing deal for Destiny, say, hey, Bungie's back with us now, come on over. No, that didn't happen.
Not the case.
But what I want to ask, because a few people tweeted me saying, you know, this is BS. I'm not buying the game at all. This DLC thing again, and that's okay. I mean, if that's vote with your wallet for sure. But I wanted to put it out to you guys: is this a problem for Destiny players that this platform content restriction, which it's purely artificial because it is a business move. There is nothing technically stopping them from putting this content out on Xbox and thus on Scorpio this fall. So, Sean, as a Xbox One Destiny player, are you tempted to switch platforms? Are you just gonna take this one on the chin? Do you care?
Yeah, so I definitely think it's an issue. I don't think it is a small issue. I personally, as an Xbox player, feel slighted by it. But I will never switch because staggered sticks for life. Sorry, that's just how it is. Anytime
Sean's first tattoo.
anytime I go to an event and play Destiny on PS4, they always show it on PS4 at
Yeah,
the
it's
E3s.
just part
and
of the marketing.
Gamescoms. It's part of the marketing. I can't stand the DualShock 4 controller. Like,
For shooters, you're talking about.
totally. But we are talking about Destiny.
Yes.
Here. Like, it is a great controller. It's a huge step up over the DS3. It is still, in my mind, for shooters, light years behind the Xbox One controller.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Good.
I'm with you.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think
It's
yeah,
fine,
yeah,
but yeah, I do agree. I think
Yeah.
for shooters, the Xbox One controller is
like-
better.
Not a doubt in my mind. There's no way I could ever go to the PS4. But it sucks knowing that the PS4 player base gets experiences out there that I don't for no other reason than that was the deal that was struck on the business end. People tweet at me and they're like, well, why aren't you whining about Call of Duty? This was how it was in the Xbox 360 PS3 generation where all the exclusive maps and stuff came to Xbox first. And it's like, okay, valid point. I didn't play Call of Duty back then, so that's why I'm
You
not
were not on this
talking about
podcast
it.
back
Yeah. But with this specifically, I feel like it's a bummer because here's the thing is like Xbox players pay the same $60 that PS4 players do and then in the end get less content and less experience for no other reason than that was a business deal. And that sucks. And it's not as if these experiences are totally just small and cosmetic. For instance,
Not in Destiny's case.
Yeah, the one I always
Some
bring
games
up,
it is.
the one I always bring up is Xbox players got Hawkmoon, which was this exotic hand cannon, a year after PlayStation 4 players did. Now, this is a really special gun because it has two perks on it. One is called Luck in the Chamber, which means one bullet in the
was.
magazine
Fast.
does extra damage. And then it has another perk on it called Holding Aces, where two bullets do extra damage in the magazine. But the trick is, all those two perks could proc on the same bullet, which means if you were lucky, you could one-shot a Guardian in the head. And for a long time, there was this 6-month period where everyone was loving this new weapon that you could run around and one-shot people with, and that is just something literally no Xbox player ever got to experience. Ever. It's just an experience that a bunch of
when
people
it came
had.
to Xbox,
they
it
had
had
changed
been
it.
changed, and it was just
They nerfed it.
an okay weapon.
And that's just one example. It's not just Hawkmoon. It's exclusive strikes, exclusive missions, and there's a bunch of exotics out there. We still don't have Zen Meteor. Like, that's such a cool exotic that I wish I got to play with, but I can't because why? It's really frustrating. but not frustrating enough to the point where I would deal with moving over to the PlayStation because
Now, you won't.
out of here.
Staggered
You
sticks
won't.
for life.
You
Staggered
won't move the
sticks for life.
PlayStation. What if it comes to keyboard and mouse and launches on PC?
Well, so that's actually the secondary like lining to this is like I'll bet you this becomes an even bigger issue once PC people who are tend to be a way more vocal crowd anyway realize they're not being treated equally either. Like I think that's going to be even bigger. I think it'll blow up even more. I don't know. It's real frustrating, man. It like causes me stress to think about that.
At least, I mean,
Like we're literally getting a different gameplay experience, but why? Like because I paid less? No, I paid the same amount and I'm getting a less experience because I chose an Xbox. It sucks.
at least the Xbox has, I mean, a feature you don't talk about much because it's pretty new, but like looking for group is an awesome feature.
that's fantastic.
And it's
should be
super
in the
useful it'll be super
Totally.
useful for Destiny 2.
Totally.
I mean, it's interesting all the different factors are going to go into what people are going to play this game on because it's going to be where are your friends?
Yep.
Obviously, the install base is going to be bigger on PS4. The DLC is coming first on PS4, but presumably this game will look best on Scorpio.
Yep. I mean,
you know,
or a
presumably.
high octane PC.
Sure. Yeah, so I don't know. That's really interesting that we're getting to this point where it's like a legitimately difficult decision on where to play a game.
Can we get? Would there be crossplay for PC and Xbox One?
That seems like it would be
I'm gonna
there
gotta
just the
say
way
no.
it works, right?
Well, I would say no. I mean,
I guess with shooters it's less
Yeah.
likely, but
just because you're at such a huge advantage.
but
with mouse
maybe
and
for, I'm
keyboard.
just saying maybe for the co-op stuff, which is most of the game.
yeah,
non-PvP stuff.
potentially.
But
I
just
love crossplay on all platforms.
Oh.
That'll never happen.
I think
that's
it's
a pipe dream.
more
Yeah.
likely that you'd see crossplay between consoles and not PC and console.
But all right, so there you go. Well, let us know how the Destiny 2 video, its full trailer
Or
is
launch.
when you've already seen it as of now, and we haven't.
I like the idea that like everything we say is just null and void after the trailer.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Trailer
be-
comes out, everything crossplay.
Yeah, everything.
Xbox is gonna get the same
All the
stuff.
PS4 now has staggered
Yeah.
sticks.
Yeah, that's where it's staggered.
wouldn't be the first time everything we said was null and void by the time it hit the.
Yeah, we've
public
done it
theaters.
288 times.
Well, we haven't,
That's true.
but